If you have bills and debt piling up, a personal loan through NetCredit can provide funding up to $10,000 to help you get back on track if eligible. Visit netcredit.com today. All NetCredit loans and lines of credit are offered by a member of the NetCredit family of companies or one of our lending partners. Visit netcredit.com/partners for more information.
The Big Bark, listen up dog owners, is for you, all you canine lovers. It's your favorite podcast, The Big Bark, with your host Darragh Burke and canine co-hosts Bruno and Milly. The Big Bark.
Hello and a big welcome to The Big Bark, Ireland's favourite canine podcast. I'm your host Darragh Burke, and I'm joined as always by my two canine co-hosts, Bruno and Milly. So, we had a pretty good episode last week. We had Debbie Luckin of Kids Around Dogs joining us with some very good tips and helpful advice there. So, a big thanks to Debbie for coming on the show last week and giving us all the advice on how to actually help your dogs and kids get along together. This week we're continuing our summer series and we have a lot coming up on the show. We have our weird and wonderful news a bit later on, and by Christ have I some weird news that will kind of, I suppose, amuse and I suppose baffle people today. We'll be chatting a little bit of wellness with your woofer, and we're going to be putting our co-host on the spot a bit today with some doggy trivia. I forgot to mention that one before the show started there. And we'll have our dog-friendly business of the week, and we're going to be chatting all about Dogitude that is happening this weekend. So first, let's welcome today's co-host. And we'd like to have this guy back again after having him on a few weeks ago to tell us all about Dogitude. Peter Smyth of Causey Farm. Peter, welcome to the Big Bark.
Delighted to be back, Darragh. Thanks for asking me on again.
Not a problem at all. I kind of forgot to mention to you before the show, I'm going to put you on the spot a bit later on. I have a little bit of dog trivia, just to see, with Dogitude coming up, how well do you know your dogs?
Oh, God.
So, okay. Preparations going good for Dogitude?
Preparations are going really good. And it's been a very hectic week here at Causey Farm, assembling all of our different areas where Dogitude is going to take place. It's going to be an unbelievable day out. I'm really, really excited for it.
And the forecast is looking really promising as well for the weekend, so that's good.
Yeah, no, the festival gods are definitely working in our favour, Darragh.
Absolutely, and look, hopefully the weather definitely stays good. So first of all, we're going to just dive in, I suppose, to the weird and the wonderful news. We'll chat about Dogitude a bit later on then. And I suppose the first thing I will come to is the weird news that I found this week. Now, the headline on this, and it comes from the Daily Mail, the headline is, I've decided to give up being a human and become a collie. So, yeah, that is quite a headline. A Japanese man has spent £12,500 on an ultra-realistic dog costume so he can live like an animal. This literally looks like your Lassie collie. It the thing is so real. If I'm looking at it here online, and you would actually think it is a real dog. You really have to question though. I love dogs, but what is wrong with people?
It's a strange one.
It is definitely a strange one for sure. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. This is like a... What age is he? Is he 40 something, I think? He goes by the name of Toko-san, and he commissioned an agency to spend 40 days making a bespoke collie outfit. And there's videos of him here on the Daily Mail, literally rolling around the floor like a collie. It's look, I know I love finding the bizarre news that's out there, but I suppose it takes a dog biscuit, really.
It really does.
Okay, so that's the weird news for this week, and I suppose this is kind of cool to think of. The world's tallest dog has been announced by the Guinness Book of Records. When he stands on his hind legs, is 7 feet tall.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, so he is, Zeus is his name, great name, because I suppose, like a god nearly of dogs. He is a 2-year-old Great Dane. Like, I know Great Danes are tall anyway, but I'm fairly sure if I stood beside this dog, like, even without him standing on his hind legs, he'd be taller than me. The Guinness Book of Records recently named him as the tallest dogs, and they had to count 68 times, apparently, to actually check the height of the dog when he was on his hind legs, because of the fact that they actually thought it was a horse they were dealing with. Like,
Darragh, do you think you'd like to come to Dogitude?
I would love to. Unfortunately, this weekend is unavailable for me. But,
What about Zeus?
Oh, Zeus? Oh, I think Zeus will be an amazing addition to Dogitude. Might be a bit tricky to get him there, though, because he is in... Oh, where is he? He's somewhere in the US, anyway. Oh, he's over in Texas.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a pity.
I'm like... That's like, you'd wonder what they're feeding him that he's that tall. I know Great Danes are tall anyway, but
that's it. That's enormous.
Yeah, absolutely massive. Okay, so that's the weird and the wonderful for this week anyway. I left out the whole news and sound effect because my podcast episode last week got taken down on YouTube because I used that music, so I need to come up with new music even though I bought it. Oh well, that happens. Anyway, we're going to move on here, and I suppose the next thing to talk about, obviously, is the big event that is coming up this week. And I don't know, I think that might be, let's see, is that a dog festival, I think, is coming up. Isn't that right, Peter?
I think you could be right, Darragh.
Alright, so tell us, Peter, and remind people everything that is going on at Dogitude this week.
So on the 29th of May, at around 11:15, the gates open at 11 a.m, but I'm sure we'll have some eager people coming early. We are opening the gates of Causey Farm to a couple of thousand people and a couple of thousand dogs for we're hoping to be Ireland's largest dog festival. And we're extremely excited. And it seems like a lot of the people coming are extremely excited too, because the event is so big and so spread out over Causey Farm that I just feel like there's something for everybody coming on Sunday.
Brilliant. Okay, so we know you have the dock diving, which, like, come on, man, you have to take part in that, surely.
That has been very, very popular. But Darragh, another popular element to the festival is also the John Bow agility competition. That at the moment has over 150 entries, which I think is absolutely crazy.
That's incredible. Like, I know, like, a lot of people love the agility because, like, look, my experience with agility is watching on Crufts every year, and it's my favourite thing to watch on Crufts. I absolutely love watching that and the flyball. Like, I love watching those two things. But, like, 150 entries, that's incredible, especially for your first year as well.
Amazing. And now this year, we haven't included flyball this year, but it's the committee is already talking about it, and we're hopefully going to have flyball at Dogitude next year.
Fantastic. And okay, tell us then, who you have the Woofstock music stage, obviously. What artists have you playing on the Woofstock music stage?
So one of the artists, well, it's actually one of the bands is the Duffy Brothers, and they're pretty much rock and roll, big into that type of music. We've also got a group of gifted musicians that live locally in the area. Now, they're not officially a band, but they're currently in the middle of assembling a band together of different musicians who play unbelievably well. They play 5 nights a week throughout County Meath, and they're thankfully have decided to get together, and they're going to be performing on the Woofstock stage. And like I said the last day, we also have Bob Dylan tribute.
That's brilliant. I'm sure, like, look, Bob Dylan now, that would be, like, and even, like, the Duffy Brothers you mentioned there, rock and roll, like, that's the real kind of music that you want, like, at a festival.
Festival vibes, that's exactly what we're going for.
Exactly. And, okay, tell us then, like, you mentioned the last day you have the Retail Village. How many exhibitors have you at the Retail Village?
So I was actually having a quick look at the list today, and it's looking like we're going to have over 40 exhibitors. And then we're going to have a large amount of food vendors as well.
Okay, brilliant. And okay, so give people a quick reminder then of what's happening on the wellness stage, and there was a behaviour stage as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, so there's going to be a decent amount of talks on the behaviour and wellness stage, which I think we discussed it on our last episode. But one thing, and it's since I had told you, it's the same speakers are coming, but the demonstration arena is something I'd absolutely love to talk to you guys about today, because it's got a lot happening at the demonstration arena.
Go for it. Tell us what's going on.
So what's going on? I'm actually going to have a quick look at my notes now, Darragh, just to make sure I don't get it wrong. So we've got a canine detect and find, and they're going to be doing man training, which is going to be very, very interesting. And they've got an amazing show planned. I've been in contact with them regular enough. And I think their show is going to be about 40 minutes long as well. So it's going to be very, very entertaining. We also have, we've actually got some very special guests. We've got a Canine Cross Ireland. Canny Cross Ireland, they're coming as well. And they're big into scootering and biking and kind of running with dogs. And they're just actually back, from France. They're at a world championship. And I'm pretty sure they won a title over there too. So it's going to be really exciting to see them.
Yeah, we actually had them on the show last year, and like yourself, I was like, Canine Cross, and I was like, no, it's Canny Cross.
Yeah, Canny Cross, sorry, Darragh.
I always get mixed up as well, it's no worries. But yeah, they had actually mentioned to me that they were heading to France as well. I had heard that, and congratulations on everything that they're doing there. I know myself, I would not be able to run with my dog. It's been a long time since I've actually run myself. I used to do, my last dog, I used to do a lot of running with my last dog, until she one day just decided to run in front of me just for the crack, and just send me going flying. So that was kind of the end of our running together, really. So
And Darragh, there's also teaching children to train their dogs with Dr. Her name is Deirdre Ryan, and she's got an unbelievable show planned. She's got 2 daughters, and between the 3 of them, they've got an amazing show. And anybody coming to Dogitude with children, I really encourage to go and see them at the demonstration arena, because it's going to be an amazing show. And for anyone looking to teach their kids to train their dogs, she is definitely the lady you want to be listening to.
And we talked about that last week with Debbie looking from the UK there a lot.
Yes.
Because it is very important to actually teach your dogs, or teach your kids and your dogs to get along together, because and especially teach your kids to respect the dogs space, respect their own private space.
For sure. No, and that's all going to be covered there. And one thing I'm really excited about, and I suppose it was kind of my idea, but I have a slight obsession with Bernese Mountain Dogs.
I can join that club.
I have a slight obsession, and I've met a lot of them since starting my role as on the committee of Dogitude. I've been coming across a lot of them. So I just said to the committee, I was like, look, I'd love to do a breed meetup for the Bernese Mountain Dogs. And we are hoping to do that now on Sunday. The venue of it in the festival is to be confirmed, and the time, but I will be keeping people posted on social media.
Fantastic. And your social media has grown so much since you first announced that Dogitude was coming. Did you ever expect that things would grow this much?
I really didn't, and if I'm honest, I definitely have you to thank as well. We were doing podcasts, it was only 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and Dogitude wasn't near the event what it was when I first came on here. And now I'm on here nearly 2 or 3 weeks later, and it's just crazy how big it's grown. And I'm just really hope that we can put on a show to impress everybody coming.
I know, Peter, we're always very happy here to do whatever we can for any dog event coming up, and fair play to you guys as well. There's you've had so much planning behind the scenes, and can't be easy, especially when you're doing your normal day job during the week as well.
Yeah, that's it. Today, for example, there was probably 450, maybe 500 children here today.
Oh well, look, I'm just going to be quite honest there. Like I probably can't be around 4 or 5 of them for too long. So fair play to whoever did that.
Thanks, Darragh.
And no offense meant to any children out there listening.
No, not listening. No offense at all.
But like it's grown so much, and like it also goes to show what a like dog loving community we have here in Ireland as well.
We're so lucky, and I've only really opened my eyes to it in the last couple of months how very important my dog is to me, and how I'm so happy that I'm being part of an event that is organised for dogs. Because that's one thing I hope everybody remembers when they're coming to Doggitude Festival on Sunday, that we're doing this for the dogs. It's all about to make this the best day possible for your dog. And I feel like if we do that, the owners will be happy to see their dogs very happy.
All right, Peter, and remind people how to get tickets and the price of tickets as well.
So if you want to get tickets, you can click on our Instagram profile, or you can visit doggitude.ie online. But if you click on our Instagram, there is a link in our bio, and the tickets are, I'm pretty sure, I should probably know how much. I think the tickets are €19, but don't quote me on that.
And if you're not, Peter will be giving you a refund out of his own pocket. Just kidding, he won't. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break there, and we're going to go over to the Health Hub now, and we're going to hear from Siobhan O Neill over at Tree Vets, and Siobhan was with us last week, and Siobhan is talking to us this week about just some safety tips for a dog around like leaving your dog in a car, and obviously that's a big no-no, especially this weekend when it's meant to be 20 degrees, or any weekend when it's any bit hot at all. Siobhan's going to be talking about water safety as well. So we'll be right back with you then after that. And we're back with the Health Hub this week again, and once again we're heading on over to Tree Vets now, where we're chatting to Dr. Siobhan O Neill. Siobhan, thanks for joining us again this week.
No bother, Darragh. Thanks for having me back.
Okay, so we got a lot of great feedback last week on your very helpful tips, and we want to have you back a bit to talk about a bit more about just general safety for your dogs, especially in really hot weather. So obviously, like with the temperature starting to rise now, you have like your basic tips, like making sure your dogs have plenty of water and shade, and like tell us about why water and shade are so important for your dog.
Okay, for sure. So every summer, we always see dogs with a condition what we call is heat stroke. Whether your dog is left out in the back garden and there's no shade in the back garden, they may even have a bowl of water, but that's not sufficient. They have to, if they're outside in the garden, they must have shade. Ideally, if the temperatures are very high, the dog should be inside. Obviously, you never ever leave your dog in the car, no matter, even if it's just for 5 minutes. If you're popping into the shop and you leave the windows down, never ever leave your dog in the car in the high conditions. It can take minutes for the dog's core temperature to rise, and they will collapse and they will start seizing. If the seizures continue, they actually cause the dog to go into a coma, and it can actually be fatal. So for sure, once the temperature is over 20 degrees, always walk your dog early in the morning and late in the evening. Keep the dog inside, keep them cool. The other thing you can do is if they are a little bit bored during the day, if they can't go out as much, you can make treats for them. So you could get a little dentistick or even some of their own doggy biscuits, and you can mix them with water and freeze them, and then give them they can lick them afterwards once they're frozen, and this is something that will pass the time for them and will cool them down also. Another thing you can do is just there's little toys called Kongs. You can fill the Kong with a little bit of wet food or peanut butter, and again freeze that, and it'll keep the dog occupied for hours, and again that will help cool them down. If you are in the position where when you come home and you find your dog is in the garden, or if your dog is in the car, collapsed, panting, so they don't sweat like we sweat, they pant, and they release when they're panting. That's how they get the hot air out. We'll say. So if you do find yourself in this situation, you need to cool the dog down. You don't want to cool the dog down too quickly. What we recommend is cold compresses. So if you wet a towel, soak a towel, put the towels under the armpits and under the thighs and on top of the head. You can hose the dog down, but not with freezing cold water, not even lukewarm water, just with cold to lukewarm water. You don't want to drop the temperature too much because that can cause other problems. You need to reduce the temperature gradually. This is very, very important. But yeah, the main thing is to walk the dog. If you're walking your dog, it must be early in the morning and late in the evening. A tip to do as well, if in the summer when it does get very hot, if you can't put your foot on the ground and you're barefoot on the ground, then your dog should not be walking with his barefoot on the ground, because same with their cat. It will take off the layers of skin on their pads, even though the skin is very thick on the pads. And it can cause awful dermatitis, it can cause inflammations, and it can be very hard to cure, and it's a very painful condition for them also.
Okay, and Siobhan, we actually got a question in there recently, and it's one I'm going to put to you now. One of our listeners actually asked us, should they apply sunscreen to their dogs?
Yes, absolutely. So especially white dogs. So you can apply sunscreen to the nose, you can apply sunscreen to the ears. Not necessarily if it's over the hair, but if they don't have too much hair on the tail, you can apply sunscreen to the tail. But especially in cats as well, and white cats, they're very prone to skin cancer.
With bills to pay and debt piling up, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Personal loans through NetCredit can provide funding up to $10,000 to help you get back on track financially if eligible. Our secure application process allows you to customize the terms that work for you and your budget. So check your eligibility today without affecting your credit score and help get your finances back on track. NetCredit, a more personal loan. All NetCredit loans and lines of credit are offered by a member of the NetCredit family of companies or one of our lending partners. Visit netcredit.com/partners for more information.
When you see someone sipping on a crisp, refreshing drink from McDonald's, you may suddenly crave one too. And that's normal. It's more than a drink. It's a McDonald's drink.
All your ice-cold go-to drinks are here whenever that mood hits. From classic Coca-Cola to a sparkling Sprite to a sweet, sweet tea. Get any size for just $1.39, only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
And this also goes for white dogs. So applying sunscreen to the ears every single day and also to the nose. And these are the most common areas where we would see skin cancers. If the skin cancer is quite severe, we actually have to remove the whole ear. And sometimes we have to remove the nose also, just the surface of the nose. And that would be a life-saving surgery. And also that would be in the case if the cancer had not spread.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thanks so much for that, Siobhan. And one final question for you as well. We have a lot of users who like to take their dogs swimming, so like to the likes of local rivers, local lakes. What are the things to watch out for with regards to water safety?
Okay. It's no problem if the dog is used to water and the dog is used to swimming. That's great. If your dog is terrified of water and has never been in the water before, and you decide just to throw the dog in, that's a big no. The dog will get very, very stressed. The dog will ingest lots of water, and that can cause a lung condition, and it can actually cause the dog to suffocate. Another thing is throwing sticks and throwing balls in the water. If the dog, like we'll say a Labrador for instance, or a Springer Spaniel, they love to run and jump in the water and fly after a ball. They can actually, once they're trying to catch the ball within their mouths, they're actually they're gulping in water and they're inhaling water. The water may not go down into the stomach, it could go into the windpipe, and then it can go into the lungs as well. So we don't advise you to throw the ball or throw sticks in the water. Also, I would never advise to throw sticks either, because we see a lot of stick injuries where the sticks can get stuck at the back of the throat, they can get stuck at the roof of the mouth, and they can cause awful injuries to the mouth and the back of the throat. Another thing I would say is that if you're taking your dog to a lake, just to make sure there's no algae in the lake, because a lot of the green algae is poisonous to dogs, and we see a lot of toxicities, so vomiting, diarrhea after ingestion of this. Because if they're swimming around, their mouths are open, they're panting, it's warm weather, they're going to be ingesting some water for sure. And then all this green algae is going into the stomach. A few hours later, it's going to irritate the stomach mucosa, or the lining of the stomach, and you're going to see some vomiting, and then you're going to see some diarrhea as well. And this can last for many days, and it can make them feel really, really sick. And sometimes they would actually have to be hospitalised for this.
Okay, Siobhan, thanks ever so much for that. Again, we'll leave it there, and thanks so much for joining us on the Health Hub on the Big Bark this week. Dr. Siobhan O Neill from Trusty Vets here in Limerick on the Health Hub. Thanks, and thanks again for joining us.
You're more than welcome, Darragh. Thanks for having me.
And a big thanks to Dr. Siobhan O Neill once again there from Trusty Vets, and thanks to Trusty Vets for bringing the Health Hub for us for the last 2 weeks there, and hopefully we'll have him back on again soon. Now, we've been chatting there while we were talking, while I had Siobhan O Neill on there, myself and Pete in the background have been chatting, and I think this quiz a bit later on is going to be really interesting, because it's it's going to be good. But I suppose what we want to talk about now, Peter, and we touched on it just before we went over to the Health Hub there, and one of the things that we have talked about on the show a lot lately, because it's such a big issue, is mental health is such a huge issue, and we're going to have a few guests on over the next few weeks to talk about it as well. But the benefits of a dog for your mental health nowadays, it's just unbelievable.
It's amazing. It does everybody wonders. Gets people out for walks. Gives somebody to talk to, and they've nobody to talk to. Dogs are the best when it comes to solving mental health issues, in my opinion.
And we were talking there as well, you were saying how you got your dog during COVID.
Yeah, it was an amazing, the whole family, very few of us were going to work. My sister wasn't going to school. It was just like getting a new sibling.
And COVID especially was such, I know for me, I've been working from home full time I'm still working from home full time. And that's been for the last 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
It's so isolating. It's just great to have the dogs there with you.
When I come in from work, the first person I say hello to is my dog, and then I say hello to my family.
And I love how you actually put that there. The first person you say hello to is your dog, because it's almost like they are people.
Oh, they are. They're more than people. She's just so intelligent, and the reaction you receive when I come home from work and my dog sees me, it's just unbelievable. It's something every owner looks for with their dog.
Exactly, and even for me, Bruno and Milly, they go crazy when I come in the door. And my own father is in his 70s, and he's had a lot of health issues over the last couple of years. But for him, even he's been getting out and about with the dogs in the last 2 years, kind of since lockdown, since that whole crappy 2K rule went away. He's been out and taking them down to the university here. And the amount of other men his own age that he's actually met and become very friendly with, and he'd go on walks with them now when he's down UL. It's just it's incredible.
They all have similar interests now, and dogs, that's our similar interest.
Absolutely, yeah. And look, I think as well, I saw it there a few weeks ago down here in Limerick. Uber?
Yes.
Yeah, so Uber's main European headquarters is down here in Limerick, and they had a Bring Your Dog to Work day.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, I've been on to my own employer, and come on, let's bring our dogs in, please. But just the benefits that you see it with companies like Google and Facebook and all over the US, and the benefits that dogs have, that when you bring them into the workplace like that, it's unbelievable for the productivity as well. I don't know how, because if there was a dog there next to me, I'd be wait, what's work? I won't be able to focus on work because like there'll be a dog there.
No, but it's great. I'm very lucky in where I work. I can bring out my dog as much as I want. We've got hundreds of acres to bring my dog around. I'm never short of a place to go on a walk. It's just I'm very fortunate down here in Meath. We don't have Uber down here though. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. But like, at least you can bring your dog to work with you.
True, yeah.
And like, okay, like everyone felt the isolation like during lockdown, and especially at the initial stages of lockdown. Like, how beneficial was it for you having your dog for your own mental health? How beneficial was it to have your dog there?
Yeah, like, between my dog, my girlfriend's dog, kind of just kept us going. We literally walked the legs off the two of them. Zoe and T-Bone is their names. And even now, and it made the two dogs become such good friends because he's an older dog, she's a puppy. And at the start, he was kind of annoying her, and now they're best friends, which I think is amazing. And for both of us, like, we love to see that. So it obviously gives us a good feeling of accomplishment, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And like, look, I've said on the show before, for me, like my own girlfriend, like, I'm fairly sure when I first asked her out, she said yes to Bruno. It wasn't to me that she said yes. And like, do you know, I think to this day she has actually always agreed with that. And like, that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think I did a similar strategy now, Darragh.
Yeah, like I just brought a puppy one day. Like Bruno was only like 10, 12 weeks old. He was 12 weeks old. And like, I brought him into Miho. We only gone out like a week at this stage. And or we weren't going out. We were just like kind of starting our, I don't know what you call the initial phase of a relationship, really. Like, but
you were on the shift.
we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Yeah. To any young kids listening, by the way, please ask your parents what that is. I'm not educated. So yeah, we were just like started. Like we had gone on a couple of dates, and like I brought Bruno in to meet her. We'd only had Bruno like a week or two at this stage. And I can't remember what he did. We were inside in like I think we were either in the park or the pub. Probably the pub. And like I remember he did something like bold or something, you know, like, look, you know the way puppies are. And I just gave him this tiny little tap on the nose. And he went crawling into our lap.
He hit me.
Exactly. And that's what he does to this day. But like the bonds that Bruno and Milly have, like, I suppose, forged for me and Jen over the years, it's just, they really bring people closer together.
Yeah, no person could do what a dog does, in my opinion.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, for you, I suppose it's the dog that brought yourself and your girlfriend together too?
I suppose it was actually her dog, and then I got my dog, so it was her dog that did it.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. So she kind of like had her little big dog.
She did indeed. I was saying, come on, we go for a walk.
Well, look, thanks so much, Peter, for talking about that, because like, look, I know mental health and mental wellness is such a it's a very difficult issue as well for a lot of people to talk about.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And it's good that we're discussing it, and hopefully people can get a good giggle out of our little story.
And I hope people get a good giggle out of what's coming next, which is our little trivia quiz. So, this is a little game. I have not come up with a name for this yet, and I must. But we're going to test Peter's knowledge, given the dogitude, and like it being a dog festival, we're going to test his knowledge and see how much he actually knows about dogs. So,
sorry, Dogitude Committee, for getting all these questions wrong.
I am going to put in like a little bit of like bedding music under this later on, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of crap or something, like £1 million.
Good idea.
So I'll do that a bit later on. And actually, if anyone's listened to this, it's probably already done. Okay. So question 1, Peter. What is a dog's most developed sense?
Oh, that has to be their nose. Well, I know that one now.
Good stuff, that's correct. Now, the next one. Which breed of dog is known for having a black tongue?
Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to be completely honest and admit that I do not know the answer to this one. And I apologise. Can you tell me, Darragh?
Are you going to take a guess?
I'm going to say something like a dog that I haven't seen recently, and I don't know if they have a brown tongue or not, or a black tongue or not, shall I say. Let's say a Great Dane.
No, but the correct answer is a Chow Chow.
A Chow Chow.
A Chow Chow. Now, I need to look up and see where a Chow Chow is, because I wouldn't know one if it was standing in front of me.
No, and neither would I.
They're those furry little doggies that have that weird, kind of, I don't know how you describe it, like a Mufasa or Simba type face.
Well, I might see a few at Dogitude now at the weekend, so I will send you a picture if I do.
Good stuff. Good. Okay, let's move on to question 3. How many teeth do adult dogs normally have?
Now, if I'm completely honest, I was actually looking something up like this last week, and what Google gave me the answer of 42.
And that's correct. That is the...
Oh, thank goodness.
That's the... I suppose, obviously dogs lose teeth over time as well, probably. But, that is the amount of teeth they're meant to have.
Yeah, that's good.
Now,
I knew that one.
So that is, so far, 2 out of 3. Okay, so you have to know this one. You really have to know this. Our good friend up in the Oris, the president who loves dogs, Michael D. Higgins, he is known for his love of which breed of dog?
Now, Darragh, if I got this one wrong, I would be sacked from Dogitude and Causey Farm. Michael D. Higgins is a big lover of Bernese Mountain Dogs. And we are having a Bernese Mountain Dogs meet at Dogitude. And if anybody wants to invite Michael D. Higgins, feel free.
Michael D., if you hear that, or sorry, Mr. President, I should probably call it. If you hear that, you are invited to Dogitude, and Peter is going to cover the price of your ticket.
Yeah.
And the price of your food and your drink and everything else. No promises.
No promises.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one, right? Approximately, this is a multiple choice. Approximately how many domestic breeds of dogs are there? A, 200, B, 450, C, 800, or D, 1000?
Now, me, when I'm asked a question like that, I always go for the middle. But I think it's less than 800, so I'm going to go with 450.
450 is correct. I was going to give you a choice of 50-50 there, but sure. Look, you got it first go anyway.
Process of elimination.
Okay, question 6. In the original Monopoly game...
Oh no.
Which dog breed is the dog token?
I haven't played Monopoly in years, but I'm just gonna guess because my dog is a Patterdale Terrier, so I'm gonna say Patterdale Terrier. It's just a guess.
It's close. It was a Scottish Terrier.
Scottish Terrier, not
Scottish
bad.
Terrier, yeah. Okay.
My dog kind of looks like a Scottish Terrier, so
Yeah, very, very similar breeds, I think.
Yeah, there would be similar families.
Okay, question 7. What is the name for the phobia of dogs?
The phobia of dogs.
The phobia of dogs, yeah.
A lunatic.
Well, the correct answer that we were looking there is cynophobia.
Oh goodness, Darragh, I could be here for a week and I would have never got that right.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, before I did up these questions, I didn't really have much of an idea of the phobia. Now, I do know people who actually have genuine phobias of dogs because they were, pinned against the wall when they were a child. But, apart from those people, anyone else who thinks they have a phobia of dogs, I would agree with your answer.
Apologies, you're not all lunatics, by the way.
Yes, we do not mean any offence. I'm going to be banned off Spotify for this. Okay, so what was the breed of famous cartoon dog Scooby-Doo?
Now, Darragh, that was a Great Dane. He had to be the size of him.
That was a Great Dane indeed. Okay, so that's question 8. Let me see, how many have we missed so far? 1, 2, you missed 3, so you have 5 out of 8 so far.
I'll take it.
2 more questions to go. A breed of dog was named after its original purpose of chasing badgers out of holes. What is it called?
I always pronounce it wrong, but I do know the name of this. Is it a dachshund?
It is a dachshund, correct.
Yes. I was Googling last week. I've been seeing a lot of these.
And the final question. So that is so far, 6 out of 9. So the final question, hopefully you get this. It's an easy enough one to finish. What is another name for the breed Alsatian?
German Shepherd.
Well, Peter, you did not do too bad there at all now. You got 7 out of 10.
No, we'll take it, Darragh, we'll take it.
And I think we have, let me see. Hold on, I have an applause thing here. I'm going to add that in. Okay. There we go.
Woo!
I need to remember to actually switch it off, otherwise it doesn't actually go off.
Oh no.
Yeah, that would be awkward. But yeah, okay, you did quite well there. Let's see, what else have we here? That's the last of the quiz. So, okay, so what we got now? We have to announce our dog-friendly business of the week. And that this week is Surge Coffee in Clontarf, which I believe is in Dublin. Am I right? Clontarf, is that Dublin?
Yeah, Clontarf's in Dublin, yeah.
Good stuff. So yeah, that's actually thanks to Dog Friendly Ireland that sent us over. We're getting them in kind of to give us a bit of advice on dog friendly venues across Ireland, because I don't know anything really outside of Limerick. So Surge Coffee, they welcome dogs, I believe, indoors, and they have lots of pictures over on their Instagram page of doggies. And I believe they do puppuccinos for dogs as well. You can't beat a good puppuccino, although I prefer a pint, to be honest.
Me too.
And you can catch them on Instagram, and their handle is Surge Coffee Clontarf, all one word. So that's pretty much the show nearly done for today. Peter, I really hope you have a great weekend, or a great Sunday for Dog Shoot.
Thanks, Darragh.
Look, the weather is looking good. I'm going to have the barbecue out here, and hopefully this time next year I'll be able to join you up there. I'll be able to actually get up to the show next year.
Yeah, that would be unreal.
Would definitely love it. And okay, so coming up in the next few weeks, we are actually approaching a very big milestone on the show here in 3 weeks' time. We are approaching our 50th episode. So I still can't believe all this started on a crappy little phone about over 2 years ago, and we're now approaching episode 50. So that's a big one for us, and we'll have a big competition coming. I hope next week. I'll have the details for that, and I'll be announcing that over on Instagram as well. That's all we have time for today. Be sure to check us out on Instagram, on Facebook. I don't really use Facebook. I find it completely crap. Not sorry, Facebook. But check us out on Instagram, Facebook. We're at the Big Bear Podcast there. Be sure to follow the podcast, and you can actually rate the podcast now. Remember to give us reviews on Spotify. Give us another 5-star rating there, or give us a review on Apple Podcasts as well. We're on all your podcast platforms, and we will be having our Patreon page finally launch in the coming weeks as well. So we'll have a bit of merch and stuff going up on that too. Look, that's all we have time for. And Peter, thanks again for joining us. Pleasure having you on, and hopefully we'll hear all about Dog Shoot in a couple of weeks from now.
Definitely, Darragh. See you soon.
Take care, Peter, and take care, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
The Big Bark, listen up dog owners, is for you, all you canine lovers. It's your favorite podcast, The Big Bark, with your host, Darragh Burke, and canine co-hosts, Bruno and Milly. The Big Bark.
The economy is crazy right now. All-time high inflation, bearish stock market, rising home prices, and interest rates. How do you figure it all out? Make your money go further and work harder with a certified financial planner professional from Facet Wealth. Financial planning used to focus on retirement, but with Facet, a dedicated expert guides you through every financial decision. Facet advisors are certified financial planner professionals and fiduciaries. That's just a fancy way to say they have the best training, and they're legally bound to do what's in your best interest. This isn't just about investments. You get an entire team of experts within insurance, taxes, estate planning, and budgeting to make complex financial decisions easy. Facet has a simple flat fee, no hidden charges, and with nothing to sell, there are no commissions. Visit tryfacetwealth.com for 2 months free off your first year of financial planning. That's TRYFACET wealth.com. Facet Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice.